Good afternoon, delegates. The House will now come to order. Today we are in the United Nations Environmental Program Committee. We'll begin this session with a roll call. Delegates are reminded to raise their placards up high when their country's name is called. United States. China. South Africa.
President Luigi.
Brazil.
The delegation of Brazil is present.
India.
The delegation of India is present.
Russian Federation.
Present.
South Africa. Germany.
Present.
Morocco.
President Luigi.
Canada.
Present.
Saudi Arabia.
Present.
Sweden.
President.
Japan.
Present.
France.
The delegation of France is present voting.
Okay. Any delegates who did not hear their name called, please raise your placards now. All right, now that we have everyone's ready, we are now going to move to the topic. Today's topic is reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of France.
Delegation of France is motion to moderate caucus for 7 minutes and 50 seconds of speaking time.
Are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of Brazil.
Delegation of Brazil motions for 8 minutes of moderated caucus with 30 seconds of speaking time.
Are there any other points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of Saudi Arabia.
The delegation of Saudi Arabia motions for 10 minutes moderated caucus with 45 seconds speech time with the topic of reduction of emissions.
Are there any other points or motions on the floor at this time? Okay, seeing now, we are now going to move to the voting procedure as to what time and what the speaking time will be set for the moderated caucus. So, those in favor to have moderated caucus for 7 minutes and 30 seconds speaking time, for those in favor, please raise your placards up now. So we have now 4, and it's a reminder that to have it passed, the majority vote is set at 7. So we have 4 votes here. Next one is 8 minutes and 30 seconds speaking time. For those of you that are in favor for this moderated caucus, please raise your placards now. And for those of you that are in favor of having moderated caucus for 10 minutes and 45 seconds speaking time, please raise your placards now. Okay, so seeing the majority set at 10 minutes and 45 seconds speaking time, delegates wishing to speak, please raise your placards now. Okay, so we'll start with the delegate of Canada. Delegate of Canada, you may now have 45 seconds of speaking time, and overall time is 10 minutes for all the delegates. Please keep that in mind. You may begin now.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and dear delegates. Today we gather here in order to solve the problem of reduction of greenhouse gas emission. Because due to human activity impact around the globe, we should realize that people will hurt from effect of global warming. Such high temperature will be harmful for human health and even life. Emission of green gas become a very important problem of nowadays that needs strong action which we should take. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Delegate of Canada. Delegate of France, you may speak now. You have 45 seconds.
Thank you, dear Chair. Good day, good day, honorable delegates. So right now we are discussing about the most important theme in our world, reduction of carbon emission. Right now the delegate of France is supporting all countries in order to solve such kind of problems. And also why is France is seeing that it's the most important theme in our world, because all natural disasters that are happening in our world is about carbon emission. For example, climate change, floods, fairing, and others. And the most important resources for human, water, and air are going to be polluted. So that's why the France is supporting to cooperate with other countries in order to solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of France. Now, Delegate of Morocco, you may have 45 seconds to speak. It is a reminder that when it is tapped, you have 10 seconds remaining.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, Honorable Delegates. Increasing amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causes global warming. This leads to a rising sea level, climate change, and ecological problems. Burning fossil fuels such as natural gas, coal, oil, and gasoline raises the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and carbon dioxide is a major contributor to the greenhouse effect and global warming. And Morocco will reduce its emissions of greenhouse gases by 2030 by at least 13%. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Morocco. Now, Delegate of United States, you may have now 45 seconds to speak.
Good afternoon, dear delegates. United Nations position is very clear. We support reduction carbon emission if it will be followed by all countries. We don't see any reasons to reduce carbon emission in our country when other countries like China and India are still continue to increase it. Among all countries, the biggest damage will be caused to United States, especially in economical sphere. Considering all these reasons, the United Nations wants to all nations to participate in solving this problem and don't put the responsibility only on US. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of the United States. Now, Delegate of South Africa, you may have now 45 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In 2017, the concentration of carbon dioxide rose 1.5 times faster than the average for the past 10 years. What will this problem lead to? South Africa believes that this will destroy the whole world. We are deeply concerned about this problem. Having considered this problem, South Africa believes that the best solution is collaboration. Chanakya, a prominent politician of the time, said, "A single will does not move." I hope that today we will solve this problem together. Thank you, the Delegate of South Africa. Yield time to the Chair.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. Delegate of Germany, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Dear delegates, now the problem of greenhouse gas emission has become the global problem, and the main cause is the emission of carbon in our atmosphere. During the last 20 years, the emission of carbon increased by 2%, and it has prevented many consequences, such as global warming or sea level rising. That is why our country is ready to support the international negotiation in order to solve this problem, this fair commitment of all countries. Thanks for attention.
Thank you, Delegate of Germany. Now, Delegate of China, you may now have the floor.
The position of the Chinese government on climate change is contentious. In 2000, on the basis of analysis of fossil fuel consumption and cement production data, that China surpassed the United States as the world's largest emitter of carbon dioxide, putting out 700 million tons in comparison with America's 5 million tons. According to BBC News, in September 2014, China surpassed the European Union's per capita carbon dioxide for the first time in history. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Now, Delegate of Saudi Arabia, you may now have the
The
floor.
delegation of Saudi Arabia supports the topic of reduction carbon emissions because in 21st century it is a very big problem which can hurt the environment and people's health. That's why we support this topic and we should solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Saudi Arabia. Now, Delegate of India, you may now have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. When we talk about the carbon emissions, we are focusing specifically on carbon dioxide or carbon-2. Naturally, carbon-2 releases into the atmosphere in a ton of ways. The largest sources of natural carbon emissions is from the exchange of carbon dioxide between the oceans and the atmosphere. Animals and plants also emit carbon-2 through the process of respiration. And when these plants and animals decompose organisms within the soil, respire to produce energy and emit more carbon-2 into the atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of India. Now, Delegate of Japan, you may now have the floor.
Good afternoon, dear delegate. Honorable Chair, as a representative of delegation of Japan, I want to mention that the Earth's atmosphere today has a concentration of a carbon dioxide nearly 50% higher than just 100 years ago. So carbon dioxide is the most important greenhouse gas affected by human activity. About half of carbon dioxide emitted from the fossil fuel. When we burn any fossil fuel, we always put extra carbon into the air. Japan has also taken a strong position supporting global reduction carbon emission. Japan will pursue the goal by 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emission by 2050 in order to fulfill the responsibility as an industrialized country. And if we will work together, we can prevent this.
Thank you. Thank you, Delegate of Japan. Are there any other delegates wishing to speak? Seeing none, are there any other points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of Canada.
The Delegate of Canada motion for 10-minute unmoderated caucus.
Right. Delegate of France.
The Delegate of France is motion to unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes for the topic reduction of carbon emissions.
Dear delegates, it is a reminder that since we have gathered for the topic of reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, you don't have to mention the topic. Delegate of Morocco.
The delegation of Morocco's motion for non-moderated caucus for 20 minutes to discuss the topic reduction of greenhouse gas emissions.
Any other delegates? Okay. Brazil.
Delegation of Brazil motions for 12 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
Okay. We are now going to move to the voting procedure as to what time should be set for the unmoderated caucus. Those of you that are in favor to have unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes, please raise your placards up now. Those of you in favor, please. Those of you in favor to have the unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes, please raise your placards now. Those of you in favor that want to set the unmoderated caucus for 20 minutes, please raise your placards up now. Okay. And those of you in favor to set the unmoderated caucus for 12 minutes, please raise your placards up now. So it is a final vote that 15 minutes would be set for unmoderated caucus. You may now have your unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes.
In order to stop the agreement of Paris climate change and Kyoto Protocol, and to pay attention all interest all nations, including developed countries, not only in developing countries like in Kyoto Protocol.
And the delegation supports this topic about reduction carbon emissions because in 21st century it is a very big problem and people can be heard about this. And Saudi Arabia offers to unite all countries and to combat with this problem. Okay, it's very good. Yes.
I offer to take taxes from the United States, China, countries that produce a lot of harm to our Earth's atmosphere.
Okay.
Then invest that money to the renewable energy.
But US is not included today.
Where's the US?
Yes, I don't agree with this.
Okay,
But what's
if
your
US is not agreed, okay?
We propose of all countries to put the tax of a certain amount of carbon. For example, if China is producing 1 million ton in the whole year,
The amount of we're putting the money, it will cost. Each of the tons which will produce, it will cost.
Okay, I also mean this. We have to pay taxes. We have to get taxes. But where we would invest these taxes? I mean, we have to invest them to the renewable energy, right?
Yes.
New technology.
New technology. So I do this.
Yes, we too.
That's what I want to
The
write.
delegate of the United States and Saudi Arabia also agree
Also
with
support.
us. Support us. We are also.
Actually, I want to say something against the United States.
Okay, you may see.
This guy mentioned that the United States tries to make better, but it's not. Trust me.
Now we want to come up with new agreement which should pay attention to all countries.
Okay,
We also agree that
Okay.
all, not only independent country, also agree that all of country, like independent country, independent.
You know,
also agree.
2015, right? 2015, Paris Climate Accord. The United Nations has a Paris Climate Accord in Paris, and the United States was in the deal, but when the Trump came as a president, he went out of this deal. So there's a lot of countries that has changed their presidents. There's 195 countries. 95 countries. No one of them has went out from this deal, but you went out. And now you say that you gotta make better. You will try. If you can do this, just say we cannot do this. We are out of deal. Just say it.
No, we
Actually,
won't.
it's all because of your president, right? Donald J. Trump.
We want to reduce carbon emission, but we should consider that it will be very harmful to the economy of the United States, and we should come up with new agreement which will be helpful to all countries and economy of all countries.
I got it. The words of Donald Trump.
What you can suggest to our resolution? As United States, you are representing the United States.
Are we going to write resolution 1.1 and 1.2, or are we gonna have one resolution and all?
Do you agree with us to put the
We
tax?
want support.
Yes, first is paying a tax for every
United States and
ton which
Saudi Arabia should be agreed.
emits from a factory. Next, we want to just change people's lifestyle because we know that it will reduce this problem. So, and do you support us?
Do you support us?
It means that every ton that
And also the Delegate of Morocco.
Because in Canada they already do that, and they have the most clean air in the world.
and also the most clear city is situated in Canada. That's why by doing it, we
Nowadays also a very bad problem situation in South Africa because our forests are burning every year. So in China too, it's very bad situation. So if we will work together, we can solve this problem, find a good solution.
So of course the delegation of Morocco fully supposed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and it will reduce it by 2030 at least 13%.
And we offer you work with us.
United States.
Yes, United States, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia,
You should
yes,
work with
and
us.
also China supports.
Saudi Arabia supports too.
So what about France?
As I said before, I support reduction carbon emission, but United States delegation and United States interest isn't support taxes on every ton of carbon emission.
So,
Do you support France agreement?
So
anybody here is going to write a resolution, guys? Nobody?
No, we want to
what we are talking about.
Okay,
So we are talking about the carbon emission. Our resolution is we should reduce the carbon emission by putting the tax on all fabricas and plants. So by taking a tax from those fabricas, we can invest the money for new technologies. It can clear our air. It can clear. So that's why we have our own resolution. Do you agree with us?
Yes, I agree, but taxes should be taken from that countries that pollute and use fossil fuel and for the technological things. And I think we should take more taxes from them.
No. Just let me say, for 1 ton carbon.
I will be the one. Yeah, also.
And our conflict. Yes, we had. Yes, and I didn't think that in 2000 you can just go out from this agreement only in 2020. But in 2020 will be new election of president, and if it will be new president, it means that your opinion will change. Yes, your opinion of your country. If we will work together, taxes why they are important. When Canada already use it, when for every ton which you get taxes, people use and make less. Yes,
and
They
it
will afraid from taxes, for
Yes.
paying taxes. That's
Yes.
why. And we can waste the taxes for something useful, for new technology, for example.
taxes are the best decision for this problem.
You have to pay the taxes. Oh, you cannot pay it. The taxes, they are like very important.
Also, we offer, my dear colleagues, is changing of lifestyle.
Yeah,
You
of course. We just to all the people from the United States, they can just recycle, just reuse like materials to help our like environment. Our like
Yes, you know, but in previous agreement, some countries had something they didn't obey in every rule. But in a new agreement, I want to offer that in a new agreement, every country should obey. This is the United Nations conference. Like every country should follow the rules. But some countries didn't pay the taxes. But some countries didn't follow the rules.
Dear
That's why
delegates,
United
time is up. Please take your seats.
Okay.
Do we have any points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of Morocco.
the delegation of Morocco's motion for an extra unmoderated caucus for 5 minutes.
We just had unmoderated caucus, so we cannot proceed to another unmoderated caucus. Delegate of Saudi Arabia.
The delegation of Saudi Arabia motioned for moderated caucus for 5 minutes with 30 seconds speech. Yes.
Speaking time, all right. Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa motions for moderated caucus for 7 minutes of 7 minutes of moderated caucus and 30 seconds of speaking time.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. And Delegate of France.
The delegation of France's motion for moderate caucus for 7 minutes and 45 seconds of speaking time.
Right. We are now going to move to the voting procedure as to what timing should be set for this moderate caucus. Those of you in favor to have for 5 minutes and 30 seconds, please raise your placards up now. Seeing the majority, this motion clearly passes, so we are going to have the moderate caucus for 5 minutes and 30 seconds speaking time. Those of you that are wishing to speak, please raise your placards up now. Morocco is first. Delegate of Morocco, please. You have 40
Honorable
30
Chair,
seconds.
I want to mention that we all can help to reduce the demand for fossil fuels, which in turn reduces global warming by using energy more wisely. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Morocco. Delegate of France, you may have the floor now.
Thank you, Chair. So the delegation of France thinks that the main cause of carbon emission is human, and there are a lot of reasons. The main reasons are transport and another reason. So I'm supporting to all countries to be united in order to solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of France. Delegate of South Africa, you may now have the floor for 30 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So, by discussing with our colleagues from other countries, we decided that we should, in this situation, we should be together in order to solve this problem. Our colleagues from the United States of America and Saudi Arabia agree with us. So, we want to work together. Thank you. The Delegate of South Africa, yield time to the Chair.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. Delegate of Canada, you may now have the floor.
So, as we know, this problem caused in all the globe, and this should be the really a really big problem, and this should stay on the top of all other problems. And we should gather together. We should unite and solve this problem because this is come up from our hand, and we should to decide this. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Canada. Delegate of China, you may now have the floor.
China can suffer some of the effects of global warming, including sea level rise and air pollution. And one of our big corporations, Sinopec Corporation, wants to reduce carbon emissions. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Now, Delegate of Saudi Arabia, you may now have the floor.
Saudi Arabia's position is to offer new rules and like a tax, we hope the tax can reduce producing carbon emissions.
Thank you, Delegate of Saudi Arabia. And the Delegate of United States.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The delegation of United States considers that reduction carbon emission is very harmful for economy of United States, But however, we still isn't against reduction carbon emission, and we call up all nations come up with new agreement. We should pay attention to the interest not only developing countries like in Kyoto Protocol, but also to developed countries too.
Thank you, Delegate of the United States. Any delegate of, I don't see the placard. Delegate of Sweden, please, you may now have the floor.
Good afternoon, honorable chairs and the delegates. I want to add that the delegate of Sweden is want to add that we support the mention of Brazil, and we want to limiting emissions of greenhouse gases and sponsoring our money for solar energy and wind energy.
Are there any other points or motions on the floor at this time? Delegate of Canada.
The delegation of Canada for motion, to motion for 10 minutes unmoderated caucus.
Okay, thank you, Delegate of Canada. Delegate of France.
The delegate of France motion to unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes.
Thank you, Delegate of France. Delegate of Brazil.
Delegation of Brazil motions for 5 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa motions for 8 minutes of unmoderated caucus.
Thank you. And Delegate of Saudi Arabia.
The delegation of Saudi Arabia supports the position of South Africa.
Thank you, Delegate of Saudi Arabia. Now we are going to move to the voting procedure as to what timing should be set for this debate. So those of you in favor to set the 8 minutes for the, 5 minutes for the unmoderated caucus, please raise your placards up now. Those of you in favor to set the unmoderated caucus for 8 minutes, please raise your placards up now. Those of you in favor to set the unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes, please raise your placards now. Alright, so seeing that the majority was set at 7, we are now going to move to the unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes.
How do you know?
It's topic and also country and also space. You have to mention also. So, and which country can support it? Going to signatures. Because we need for yes, okay, and one more.
South Africa and Morocco. Saudi Arabia and United States.
You Saudi Arabia.
And also
You Saudi Arabia.
No, I'm South Africa. Signatures.
Signatures.
What about you?
I want to
signatures.
write
No, your
new
point.
resolution, but nobody.
Your point. What is your point? You want to create new, yes, new agreement, and we will not harmful counter. But why you have?
Why we suppose you to join to our resolution because we can put the tax of carbon emission that is happening in our planet. So by doing that, maybe the tax will put the businessman down and it will can to produce carbon more less. And also by taking the tax from any other countries, we can invest money for developing our technology in order just to produce clean energy, including sun energy, water energy, and so on. So we support you. To join to our resolution. Because I think it's that the delegation of China. What do you think about it?
Our country, China, want to improve the thermal insulation and the ventilating of air conditioning, and these measures I think will help us to reduce the carbon emissions, because the carbon emissions because of people. One of our big corporation, the Sinopec Corporation, it's a Chinese petrochemical corporation. It took first place to emission the carbon emissions. Yes.
So I know, but carbon is producing a lot of carbon.
This is the resolution, but this is my point of view. Okay. If you will create a new project, new project. What if how it, also people again will pay money, and also, as you said, as France agreement, they also pay a lot of money. So if you want to pick up all of countries, to unite all of countries, yes, again in your new project, yes. To this project, also people invest money, as in Paris Agreement.
You see that
but
your people don't have like a workplace.
But in case it will not be as harmful as Paris Climate Agreement.
Why?
Can you give us specific arguments, specific details?
We didn't create new agreement yet, and we should come up.
But you're going to create a new agreement.
Not only one country can tell.
I see that you are
Hey buddy, do you have a body? You don't have a body left. Okay guys, what are you talking about? Tell me.
We will put tax, yes? Equal tax first country tax.
Dear delegates, you now have 60 seconds remaining.
Japan will support. Yes, we want to support.
Taxes we get, we will
Yes, support.
invest in
If
this.
we will put tax, it will force the industry and force the companies to change their tax from this money and replace.
So what about you?
Do you want to support the
Yeah, but I cannot
Can you explain us specifically your resolution? Just your position and your like specific details. Give us.
Equal tax for all countries, equal tax for all countries, and that money we get, we will.
Dear delegates, time is up. Please take your seats now. Delegates, order.
Time is up.
Please take your seats. We will now move to the introduction of the resolutions. Do delegates have the resolutions ready? I will give you 3 more minutes to prepare your resolutions. You have 3 minutes to prepare your resolutions.
the delegate of the United States.
텍스 맥이라 정말 안 나왔어. 텍스 맥이라.
Which kind of technology?
아베가.
First 3 minutes is enough.
I don't care, man.
It's what else China do?
Yes, India, but
For example, France is producing
So who are your sponsors?
China will produce 1 billion tons. They will pour, they will pour more, right? They will become less.
yes, but also China also developed countries, and it doesn't reduce. It doesn't increase as much carbon emission as India does. Right?
That's why
Why should India
That's why
China will replace?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm
talking about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Have you any idea? Do you have any idea?
The idea is to go to the renewable energy and some by time, like to 2030, end with this fossil oil, stop global warming. That's it. That's it.
And it's not for only greenhouses, for another things.
Of course, man.
Factories.
Yeah, buddy.
companies.
Yeah, dude.
Could you write Albania too?
The delegation president.
Yes, man.
Can you join our resolution? What do you think about?
The resolution is actually good. I could be a sponsor if you want.
No, I don't. No, I'm not gonna put you in the sponsor. You
Why?
can be a signature.
Okay, I could be a signature.
Okay.
Right?
You agree
Okay.
with it?
Yeah, it's okay. It's my idea actually. You just filled and wrote it in the paper. Okay. Okay.
We now have 1 minute remaining.
Last minute maximum before the test.
Yeah.
Deeply concerned by situation in the world. Concentration of carbon dioxide.
You have 15 seconds remaining.
Delegation of France.
Signature there, okay? Give me a pen. Do you have a pen here? Give me a pen.
Give me a pen.
Me.
Time is up. Delegates, please take your seats now. Now that you have hopefully prepared your resolutions, you may pass them on to the chair now. Answer the resolutions, please. So we have one resolution here. Sponsors of the resolution 1.1, Canada and France. You may now have the floor, please.
So, by discussing with all countries, including USA, Germany, Sweden, Morocco, and other countries, we have created our own resolution that all countries are supported us. So, the achieve our resolution is like that. In order to reduce carbon emission, we have several reasons. We have several resolutions for it. So the first of them is putting a tax for all plants and fabricants that are working right now in all countries. So it means that they should pay a certain tax that it will be equal for all countries.
Okay, so good day, dear chair and delegations. So we are discussing with our colleagues and came up with one solution that we have resolved that at a target of putting a tax on emission of greenhouse gas. And the third goal of SDG 17 SDG of United Nations, it will control tax of the all around the world, and the tax will pay all the countries. Beside of if they are developing or if they developed, it will like. Which country will produce more, this country will pay more. So And the money of these taxes, the tax will we will use it in order to change the technology which produce a much amount of carbon gas emission and it's or we will change it. Replace this technology with technology which work with not fuel fossil but work with a solar battery and with another source of energy. So another, it's we came up with our delegation that the Japan can to invest on their technology, can help us with their developed technology because they already produce such technology which work with another energy.
Thank you. Now, sponsors of the resolution 1.2, United States and Saudi Arabia. You may present your resolution now. As a reminder, you have 1 minute to present your resolution.
Thank you, dear delegates. Considering all agreements which were signed before, like Kyoto Protocol and Paris Climate Agreements, we think that all these two agreements was fair, and United States considers that reduction carbon emission is very important, but at the same time is very harmful to the economy of all countries, including the economy of United States, and we call up all nations to come up with new agreement which should pay attention to the interest not only developing countries.
Okay, our solution with United States and Saudi Arabia is to come up new conference, because in previous conference in Paris we had some conflict between countries. That's why in new conference we want to offer you to unite together, but you should understand our position because we want to save our economy and we want to be united in another way. We should save our economy, but in the same way we should prevent our world from carbon emissions, and we want to think about new way how to reduce how to reduce the carbon emissions, but not hurt our economy. Yes.
Thank you. Delegates of United States and Saudi Arabia, please pass your resolutions to the chair. Dear delegates, now that you have presented your resolutions and I have them here, we are now going to move into the voting procedure. As a reminder, the resolution that gets the majority of votes that was set at 7, that's the resolution that is going to pass. So, all the delegates in favor of the resolution 1.1 with sponsors Canada and France, please raise your placards up now. Now that we have 7 votes in favor of the resolution 1.1. Since 7 votes is considered to be a majority, the resolution 1.1 passes. The resolution 1.2, those of you in favor, please raise your placards up now. The resolution 1.2 has 3 delegates are in favor, 4 delegates in favor. This resolution fails. Now, I want to congratulate the resolution 1.1 sponsors Canada and France, signatories Japan, India, South Africa, Germany, and Russia. Allow us a minute. We're going to move to the procedure of honoring the delegates as to which one is the best, honorable, and outstanding. Thank you. Please remain your seats.
transformation national resources which causes fossil economics and matching which solar battery or other energy. So drone matching mode technology drone doesn't this in the forest is drone. So it's for flight and it's for take a picture and just observe the forest, the biggest forest in the world, and it's will protect them from fire and the poachers.
So this is the main things of your topic. This is the main.
Yes, I know. Okay, so it was another the recommends to plant the tree and in empty places. Trust the people will change their lifestyle. Emission of greenhouse gas will decrease because if the people will stop to drive machine and will just drive the bicycle, it will be more better because it will not be car accident and it will be helpful for ecosystem.
We have decided that Sarfaroz Yunusov is an honorable delegate. Congratulations. Outstanding delegate is Anvarjon Hotamov. Thank you. And the certificate for the best delegate is awarded to Parvina Vohidova. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for your time and for your attention.